I'm elbow deep in a bucket of feed, swearing at a chicken. Yes, a chicken. Listen, Nugget, I'm not in the mood. I mutter as the feathery demon pecks at my boot like it's seeking revenge for every omelet America has ever eaten. My phone buzzes inside my back pocket. But I can't grab it without sacrificing a chunk of denim to this. Bird's homicidal tendencies. My life has officially become a sitcom, but like the low-budget kind that never makes it past season 1. I'm 26, broke, stranded on a sun-blasted farm outside Phoenix, and working for a woman who believes essential oils can resurrect vegetables. The chickens don't care. The sun definitely doesn't care. And the fact that my ex-boss accused me of stealing from the register, which I absolutely did not do, means I'm stuck here shoveling feed to pay for room and board. The phone keeps vibrating. Hold on, I hiss at Nugget, snatching it out. Unknown caller, again. I ignore it. Then it rings again. Same number. Then again. Okay, seriously? I answer. If this is a warranty extension call, I swear to God. Ms. Porter? My stomach drops. The voice is male, smooth and expensive, like leather seats and good whiskey. Who is this? I ask, glancing around the silent, sun-washed yard. The goats stare like they're invested. My employer would like a word. Nope, I say instantly. That sounds like the beginning of a documentary about a missing woman. Hard pass. I hang up. 2 minutes later, I hear it. A low thrum in the distance, a sound that doesn't belong on a farm. I squint toward the shimmering horizon and freeze. Dust kicks up in thick golden plumes. A black SUV tears down the dirt road like it's trying to breach the sound barrier. Behind it, oh no. A sleek helicopter drops lower. Blades cutting through the bright Arizona sky. Sunlight flashing off its sides like a warning. You've got to be kidding me, I whisper. The SUV screeches to a stop in front of me, sending chickens scattering like they've seen the apocalypse. 3 men in tailored suits step out. Suits, in 90-degree heat, on a farm. Yeah, this is definitely my life ending. I back up slowly. Nope, wrong farm. Y'all want the organic cucumber guy down the road. The tallest one lifts a hand. Brielle Porter? I swallow. Depends who's asking. We're here on behalf of Mr. Cassian Moretti. The name slams into my chest. Moretti. I've heard it whispered in the back rooms of diners, muttered by truckers and hissed by small-time crooks. The Moretti dynasty runs half the West Coast's underworld and owns half the legitimate businesses, too. If Amazon had a Mafia division, it would be him. Yeah, okay, I say, hands shaking only a little. Well, you can tell Mr. Moretti he's got the wrong Brielle Porter. I'm not important enough for Mafia attention. I can barely afford toothpaste. One of the men steps closer. He looks like he was carved out of granite and told not to have a personality, Mr. Moretti insists. The helicopter lands in the empty pasture behind them, grass swirling like a golden tornado. A goat faints. I relate deeply. I'm not going anywhere with you, I say, voice cracking the tiniest bit. I have chores. Chores. I actually said that. He raises an eyebrow. You're being escorted, voluntarily or not. Are those my only 2 options? Yes. I open my mouth to scream, and then the phone buzzes again in my hand. Same number, I answer because apparently I hate myself. A voice slides through the speaker like warm honey with razor edges. Deep, calm, confident. Young, but with the kind of authority that makes your spine straighten. Brielle. My knees weaken. I grip the fence behind me. Who is this? I whisper. You know, he says. And I do. Somehow I do. Cassian Moretti. The Dawn. The man whose name carries fear like a shadow. I'm not getting into a helicopter for you, I say, trying to sound brave. That's how people end up on missing posters. I didn't send my men to kidnap you, he replies. I sent them to protect you. From what? Rampaging chickens? His sigh is soft, amused. Someone at your former workplace sold your information. I intercepted it before it reached the wrong hands. You need to come with my men. Now. My lungs freeze. You hacked my old job? I don't hack, he says calmly. My people do. Why me? My voice shakes before I can stop it. I'm not important. A pause. Then. You became important the moment you stood up to a man I needed exposed. My brain does a half skip. What man? That's a longer conversation, he says, and we're running out of time. My hands sweat. My heartbeat tries to climb out of my throat. I look at the helicopter, its sleek white body gleaming in the sun, its blades flashing like an urgent signal. I'm nobody. I'm broke. I'm covered in chicken feed. I don't belong anywhere near this man's orbit. I'm not some damsel, I say, voice trembling more from adrenaline than fear. I'm not yours to just collect. His voice drops to a low, lethal softness that sends heat racing down my spine. I don't collect people, Brielle. And if I wanted to force you, you'd already be in that helicopter. A chill races through me. But I'm offering you safety, he adds. Not chains. I swallow hard. My mouth is dry as dust. This is crazy, I whisper. I don't even know you. You will, he replies. Bring her. The call ends. The suited men approach. Panic spikes. I dart backward toward the barn, but the ground slopes. My foot catches on a sprinkler hose and I stumble. Strong arms catch me before I hit the dirt. I can walk. I snap automatically. I don't need... Hey, put me down. The man hauling me doesn't even flinch. Mr. Moretti said not to let you get hurt. That hose attacked me. That's not being hurt. He sets me on my feet near the open helicopter door. The wind from the blades whips my hair everywhere. This is insane, I mutter, trying to brace myself. Completely insane. One of the men hands me a headset. You'll be safe, he says. Mr. Moretti doesn't make idle promises. Great, I say shakily. Is that supposed to comfort me? He shrugs, usually does. I'm sweating, shaking, half convinced I'm dreaming. But the other half, the reckless half, the curious half, the part of me that's always wanted to escape this dead-end life, is screaming, get in. I take a deep breath, taste dust and sunlight, and climb into the helicopter. The men strap me in. The door shuts with a metallic finality that echoes through my skull. The helicopter lifts, smoothly, powerfully, as if gravity suddenly got the day off. The farm shrinks beneath me, the field stretching out like a patchwork quilt under the blazing sun. My heart pounds. Then, my phone vibrates. A new text. Unknown. Good girl. Heat floods my cheeks. My pulse stutters. I should be terrified. I should be planning my escape. Instead, I stare at those two words and feel something dangerously close to anticipation. The helicopter banks toward Phoenix's skyline. Gleaming skyscrapers. Glittering glass. Bright heat shimmering off every rooftop. And I realize something with a jolt. Whatever's waiting for me down there, I'm not ready. But I'm going anyway, because the moment Cassian Moretti decided I mattered, my life stopped belonging to the farm, and started belonging to something much, much bigger. Something I'm pretty sure I'm not walking away from. Not anymore. I've been in cars before. I've even been in one plane, once, when I was 10 and thought pretzels were gourmet cuisine. But nothing, absolutely nothing, compares to stepping out of that helicopter onto the rooftop. Helipad of a glass building in the middle of downtown Phoenix. Sunlight blasting off chrome rails. And a hot breeze whipping, my hair in every direction like I'm in a shampoo commercial gone rogue. The second my boots hit the ground, two men in gray suits flank me like I'm important. I'm not important. I'm a farmhand who got bullied by a chicken 2 hours ago. This feels illegal, I mutter as they escort me toward the rooftop door. One of them, a guy with a buzz cut and a jaw that could cut granite, just says, Mr. Moretti is waiting. Those words shouldn't make my stomach flip. They do anyway. We move down sleek glass hallways, all bright sunlight, marble floors, and indoor plants that cost more than my entire life. Every employee we pass stiffens when they see us, like standing this close to Cassian. Moretti's people is a health risk. Finally, a set of frosted glass doors slide open and I find myself in an office the size of my childhood house. Sunlight floods everything. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the city, the desert stretching out far beyond it like a golden sea. And he's there, Cassian Moretti. Sitting on the edge of a wooden desk polished enough to blind someone, his sleeves rolled up to his elbows, revealing the ink winding over his forearms. Dark, sharp, elegant. Tattoos that look custom-made, like every line was drawn with intention. His watch gleams under the sun, some expensive piece of machinery that probably cost more than my liver. He's early 30s, tall, lean muscle under a crisp white shirt, dark hair brushed back with that effortless billionaire precision. His expression, calm, controlled, dangerous in the quietest way. And his eyes, God help me, are on me. Brielle, he says, like my name is an answer to a question he's been carrying. I halt so abruptly the guards nearly collide with me. Hi, I say, immediately wanting to punch myself. Thanks for the lift? His mouth curves. Not a smile, just the ghost of one. It was necessary. I don't know who sold my info, I blurt before I lose nerve. Or who wanted it. But I swear I didn't steal anything from that diner. I didn't do anything to deserve whatever this is. No, he says softly. You didn't? Then he stands and wow. Okay, he's tall, broad shoulders tall, intimidating enough to make your ancestors sweat. Tall. He nods at his men. They retreat silently. The doors whisper shut behind them. and then it's just him and me. I should be scared. I should be panicking, but all I feel is this electric, charged awareness spreading through the room like wildfire. Start from the beginning, he says. Tell me what happened. So I do. I tell him everything, from getting fired for a theft I didn't commit, to the farm job, to the constant spam calls from that unknown number. Cassian listens without interrupting, hands in his pockets, gaze fixed completely on me like I'm the only thing he's focusing on today. When I finish, he nods slowly. I knew the moment your name came across my desk, he says, that someone was setting you up. For what? A diversion, he replies. Someone wanted a scapegoat. An easy target with less protection than my enemies. Me? Why me? Because you're ordinary, he says gently. And extraordinary people hide very well inside ordinary lives. My cheeks flame. And because you stood up to someone no one else would. I blink. Who? Leonard Hale, your former manager. I snort. The guy who microwaves fish during lunch break? Yeah, I stood up to him because he was screaming at an elderly customer for asking for extra ice. Cassian nods. Hale launders money for a rival family. I've been waiting for him to slip up. He noticed you watching him. And he noticed you're not easily intimidated. My brows rise. Really? Because I literally tried to run from a chicken this morning. That earns a real smile from him. Wolfish, faint, devastating. You have courage, he says. More than you realize. Okay, my heart needs to calm down. Right now it's doing some sort of Olympic gymnastics routine. So what now? I ask, crossing my arms to look less like I'm melting. I just stay here, Hyde? No, he says. You stay with me. I choke on air. With you? Temporarily. This is insane. Yes, he says simply. But it is the safest option. I look around his sunlit empire of an office. Safe for who? You, your enemies, or me? He steps closer, slow, steady. The kind of movement that makes your breath catch before your brain figures out why. For you, he says quietly. Always for you. And then his phone buzzes. He answers it with that smooth, low authority that makes grown men fold like cheap lawn chairs. While he talks, I wander toward the window. The city spreads below, glittering under the midday sun. Cars weave through the streets. People rush along sidewalks. Life happening entirely unaware that I'm up here having a crisis with a Mafia. Don, who looks like a sinful daydream. When he returns, his jaw is tight. What happened? I ask, nerves spiking. My rival just made a move, he says. Hale is trying to disappear within the hour. Disappear as in leave the country. Oh, cool. Totally normal day stuff. He gives me a look that's half exasperated, half amused. You're not afraid of me, are you? Should I be? Most people are. Yeah, well, most people don't get kidnapped by your helicopter on a Tuesday. His eyes narrow slightly, like he's trying to read a book written in a language he usually masters but suddenly can't. It wasn't a kidnapping. Tomato, tomato. He steps closer again. The sunlight catches the ink swirling up his forearm. You're not leaving my side today. Because I'm bait? No, because I don't trust anyone else to keep you alive. My stomach dips way too dramatically for someone who should be terrified. He extends a hand. Come with me. I stare at it. I promise daylight, he adds softly. He knows the rules of this moment. No shadows, no hidden corners. No fear disguised as romance. I place my hand in his. Electricity, real or imagined, shoots through my arm. His palm is warm, steady, grounding. Where are we going? I ask. To the ranch outside the city, he says. The safest place I own. Of course you own a ranch. I own 5. I blink. That seems excessive. Not when you have enemies. He leads me out of the office. Down to the private parking level where a glossy black SUV waits. The Arizona sun pours over us like molten gold. Inside the car, he sits beside me, not across, not diagonally, but right there next to me like he wants to make sure I don't disappear. As we drive, I steal a glance at him. He's staring out the window, jaw tight, brows drawn, like he's thinking about 1,000 things at once. I break the silence. So, this is your life? Helicopters and rivals and money-laundering diner managers? He gives a humorless huff. Pretty much. And you're just calm about all this? No, he admits. I've learned to appear calm. Is that your superpower? His lips twitch. That and buying people's loyalty. Your honesty is alarming. Most people prefer it. I look out the window, too, watching the desert roll by. Cactus silhouettes, dusty hills, sun shimmering off the asphalt. But my attention keeps drifting back to him. How long do I stay with you? I ask quietly. His gaze shifts to me, softening in a way I don't expect. Until you're safe. And then? He considers me carefully. And then we see what you want. Heat blooms in my chest. The SUV turns off the road onto a long private driveway lined with Palo Verde trees and sprawling desert flowers. At the top of the hill sits a massive ranch house, white and sunlit, with wide porches and a breeze that carries the scent of sage. Guards stand outside. Horses graze in the paddock. Everything looks bright, open, warm. Not at all what I expected for a Mafia safe house. Cassian steps out and offers his hand again. You first, he says. You really like giving orders, don't you? I tease. He leans closer, lowering his voice. Only when they keep you alive. My heart does that flip again. Inside, the house is modern, airy, sun-drenched. Floor-to-ceiling windows, soft leather furniture, polished wood, sunlight everywhere. He leads me to a wide living area where maps lie spread across a table. Brielle, he says gently, sit. I'm not a dog. His lips twitch. Sit anyway. I do, mostly because my legs feel like noodles. He stands across from me. Someone targeted you because you were alone, because you were easy to frame. Story of my life. Not anymore. He says it with a certainty that sends goosebumps racing up my arms. No more being used. No more being pushed around. I won't allow it. I narrow my eyes. I'm not your project. No, he says, voice dropping. You're something else. What? He searches my face. For once, the Don looks unsettled, unsure, and that's when it hits me. I'm not the only one spiraling. He's fighting something too. Something he doesn't want to name. Before I can figure out what to say, one of his men rushes in. Sir, Hale's men were spotted heading toward the city. Cassian straightens. In daylight? Yes, sir. Idiots, he mutters. Then he glances at me, just once, like he's checking that I'm still breathing. We're doing this my way, he says. No running, no hiding. And no shadows. He turns to the guard. Prep the team. Then to me, stay where I can see you. And he walks out into the blazing sunlight, ready to protect me from danger I didn't even know existed yesterday. And I sit there, heart pounding, realizing one terrifying truth. I trust him. God help me. I trust him. I don't sit still for long. Cassian might have said stay where I can see you. But the ranch living room feels too big, too quiet, too bright with all those windows. Like the sun itself is watching me panic. And panic I do, in the most polite, responsible way possible, pacing like an anxious poodle. From outside, through the open porch doors, I hear Cassian's men prepping vehicles, engines revving, radio chatter, boots on gravel. It's all happening under that relentless Arizona sun, the heat shimmering across the ground like the whole world is vibrating. I want to help. I want to do something. But everything about this feels like a movie I wasn't cast for. Finally, I step onto the porch. Cassian stands near one of the SUVs. Sunglasses on, sleeves rolled, tattoos catching the sunlight like black fire. He speaks quietly to his men, hands in his pockets. Posture relaxed but lethal in that calm, controlled way that only he could pull off well, planning to intercept a rival in broad daylight. He turns the moment he senses me. His eyes, dark, sharp, knowing, lock onto mine. You're supposed to be inside, he says. But there's a softness in his voice that ruins the scolding. I'm not good at waiting, I shoot back. A faint smile touches his lips. Noted. His men finish loading gear. He waves them toward the vehicles. They move instantly, like well-trained shadows under the sun. Then Cassian walks up to me. Close, too close. Close enough that the heat of the day mixes with the heat rolling off him, making me dizzy. I'm going to handle this, he says. You'll stay here with 2 guards. No. The word slips out before I can stop it. His brows lift. No? I'm done hiding, I say. I'm done being the girl everyone thinks is harmless enough to work on a farm or take the fall for a diner robbery or get stomped on by anyone with an ego problem. His jaw tightens. This isn't about ego. It's about keeping you alive. And this isn't just about me anymore, I fire back. Hale tried to frame me because he thought I was the easiest target. If I keep hiding, I prove him right. Silence hangs between us. The bright sunlight, the heat, the sounds of horses out back. It all presses in, waiting for his answer. Brielle? His voice is low, rough around the edges. You're not trained for this world. Good thing I don't plan on shooting anybody. He steps closer, his hand brushing mine. A light, accidental touch that definitely isn't accidental. You're staying, he says. And you're bossy, I reply. A muscle twitches in his cheek, like he's trying not to smile. I could order my men to keep you inside. You could, I say, but you won't. Why not? Because you know I'm right. We stare at each other. The air between us feels tight, electric. Finally, he exhales sharply. Fine. But you stay in the car. You don't move unless I tell you. I grin. Teamwork. He scrubs a hand over his face. God help me. 10 minutes later, I'm sitting shotgun in Cassian's SUV, seatbelt on so tight it might fuse with my ribcage. Cassian drives. The sun floods everything, sidewalks, rooftops, every car that glints as we speed through the outer edge of Phoenix. His men follow behind us in 2 more vehicles. He's silent, jaw set, eyes sharp behind his sunglasses. I brake first. You okay? I'm focused. That's rich guy code for I'm one minor inconvenience away from losing it. Right? He glances at me. Not everything is coded. Right. You're super emotionally transparent. His lips twitch. You're not afraid of me at all, are you? Should I be? Most people are. Most people didn't get farmhand level humbled by their own chickens before meeting you. He huffs out something dangerously close to a laugh. You're unbelievable. I try. He shakes his head, but tension eases from his shoulders. And for a moment, I see it, the man behind the dawn, the one who somehow cares enough. About a broke, farm-dusted woman that he sent a helicopter for her. We pull into a shopping center. Middle of the day. Families walking around. Teens carrying iced coffees. A bright, sunlit, aggressively normal setting. Except Hale's men are here. Cassian spots them first. Stay in the car, he murmurs. No matter what happens. He's out of the vehicle before I can answer. Moving with a purpose that sends every nerve in my body into overdrive. His men spill out behind him. Hale is standing near a white pickup truck, sweating bullets in the noon sun. When he sees Cassian, he pales. Actually pales. His knees wobble. Cassian approaches him like he's discussing brunch reservations, not betrayal. You tried to disappear, Cassian says. Hale swallows. I didn't. Cassian tilts his head. Don't lie. It's insulting. I crack the window to listen, heart hammering. Hale's gaze darts around and, unfortunately, lands on me. There she is, he spits. The girl who caused all this. Excuse me? I jump out of the car before I can think. Cassian turns so fast a bird flying overhead probably flinches. What did I say? He murmurs. I stayed in the car, I whisper back. Technically. Until he opened his mouth. He presses his lips together like he's fighting both rage and laughter. Hale points a trembling finger at me. You got me in trouble with the wrong people. I step forward before Cassian can stop me. Dude, I stood up to you. Because you harassed a 70-year-old woman for asking for extra ice. Don't make it sound like I launched a coup. You were watching me, Hale insists. Yeah, because you counted cash like you were doing interpretive dance. Behind me, Cassian actually chokes back a laugh. His men shift, trying not to smile. Hale's face turns red. You think this is funny? You ruined everything. No, Cassian says, stepping forward, voice like quiet thunder. You ruined everything when you targeted someone under my protection. Before Hale can respond, one of his men reaches for something in the truck, and everything explodes into motion. Cassian grabs my arm and pulls me behind him, shielding me with his body. His men advance instantly, sunlight flashing off weapons, not guns pointed but held low, ready. Stop, Cassian commands. And the world freezes. Hale's man lifts his hands. It's just a phone. Cassian doesn't buy it. He steps forward, still keeping one hand behind him, keeping me shielded. You don't reach into a car when my people are surrounding you. The man drops the phone like it burned him. Cassian's men search the truck. It's clean, one of them calls. Cassian turns to Hale. All you had to do was stay quiet, he says. But you tried to run, and you dragged her into it. Hale's panic spikes. I didn't know she mattered. Cassian glances back at me, and the way he looks at me. Sunlight catching the edge of his smile. Something raw and complicated stirring in his eyes. Tells me Hale is wrong. Very wrong. She matters, Cassian says. My breath catches, and she's coming with me. He takes my hand and leads me away, leaving Hale to be handled by his men. As we walk, sunlight warm on my back, my heart hits a dangerous rhythm. Cassian opens the SUV door for me. You risked yourself, he murmurs once we're inside. So did you, I say softly. He exhales. That's my job. And what's mine? His jaw tightens. To stay alive. That sounds like a partnership, I tease. He turns to me fully. It's more than that. My heart skips. He takes off his sunglasses and there it is. His real face, nothing shielded. Just a man who has spent his entire life keeping the world at a distance. And now he's looking at me like I'm not part of that world. Like I'm outside it, above it. Brielle, he says quietly, if I choose power, I lose you. My breath stutters. And if I choose you, I lose everything else. The world feels still. Even the sunlight feels suspended. So choose, I whisper. He studies me, long, deep, like he's memorizing every breath I take. Then he reaches across the console and cups my face gently, carefully like he's afraid I'll break. I choose you, he says. Every time. Something inside me detonates, not fear, not danger, but relief, joy, hope, all the things I didn't know I wanted. He leans closer, his forehead touching mine, the sun pouring into the car like a blessing. I don't know how to do this, he admits. I've never loved someone. My heart slams. Well, I whisper, good news. I haven't either, so we can be terrible at it together. His soft huff of laughter warms my cheek. Then he kisses me. Sunlit, certain, devastatingly gentle. The kind of kiss that rewires your entire life. When he pulls back, his voice is a rough whisper. You're not going back to that farm. I figured. You're staying with me. Is that a command? No. He threads his fingers through mine. A request. I squeeze his hand. Then the answer's yes. He exhales, like he's been holding his breath since the moment he heard my name on that hacked report. Outside, his men start their engines. Inside, Cassian presses a kiss to my forehead, sunglasses dangling from his other hand. We move forward, he says. Together, I add. His smile, small, real, makes my chest tighten. Together. And as he drives us away under the wide, brilliant Arizona sky, sunlight flooding the world with hope and heat, I realize something. I may have started on a dusty farm fighting chickens, but I'm ending here, with him. Chosen, safe, wanted, and completely, irrevocably his. I always thought the moment after a life-threatening crisis would feel quieter, like the world would give me a break, maybe send a rainbow or a coupon for free therapy. Instead, I'm sitting in the passenger seat of Cassian Moretti's SUV while he drives us back to the ranch, with the same calm intensity of a man who multitasks murder investigations, the way normal people multitask laundry. The sun is high, the desert is glowing like a giant heat lamp, and my heart is doing its best impression of a jackhammer. I stare at him. He feels me staring. He doesn't look away from the road. You're thinking too loudly. Sorry, I mutter. I didn't know my brain had a volume setting. You're practically shouting. Well, I'm processing. I was kidnapped by a helicopter. Then rescued, then kissed, then almost shot at, which, still counts as cardio. His jaw softens, and I catch the faintest smile. You handled everything better than half my men. That's a terrible sign for your men, I say. He huffs a laugh. You're not funny. You're lying. He doesn't deny it. We pull into the ranch driveway, sunlight bouncing off the white, paint and polished metal like we're arriving at a very bougie spa rather than a Mafia safe house. As soon as we stop, 2 guards approach. Cassian steps out first, scanning the horizon with that instinctive alertness that looks more like breathing than effort. I climb out too, and he instantly moves to my side, hand brushing my lower back, not possessive, but protective, grounding, irritatingly comforting. Inside, he murmurs, I want you where I can control the environment. What am I, an emotional support cactus? His gaze flicks to me, warm, dangerous, soft, all at once. No, you're the only variable I actually care about. My cheeks combust, again. Inside, the ranch is bright and open, sunlight pouring through every massive window. Someone brewed coffee, and the smell drifts through the air like a peace offering from the universe. Cassian leads me to the kitchen table. Sit, he says. I arch a brow. I'm not a dog. Sit, Brielle. My God, you're bossy. He leans down slightly. I just watched a rival pull something from a truck while you sprinted toward danger like it was a Black Friday sale. Sit. Okay, fair. I sit. He stays standing, arms crossed, framed by a beam of sunlight that hits his tattoos like spilled ink. His shirt sleeves still rolled up. His hair perfect in that annoyingly effortless way. Are you hurt? He asks, voice low. No. Shaken? Maybe. He nods once. Good. That means you're not numb. I'm not fragile either, I snap. I never said you were. You treat me like I treat you like you matter. His voice cuts through the room. Too honest, too sharp. You want to pick a fight? Fine, but not about that. Well, okay then. He pulls out the chair across from me but doesn't sit yet. He studies me like he's trying to figure out what to do, with a live grenade that keeps making jokes. Finally, he says, eat something. I'm not hungry. You haven't eaten since this morning. And you haven't eaten at all. I don't eat when things are unstable. I roll my eyes. That's not healthy. Neither is you being targeted by a rival organization, he counters. He turns toward the fridge. And now I'm making you a sandwich. I blink. Hold on. The Mafia Don. The fear dangerous. Whisper his name and people get Hive's Don make sandwiches? I'm capable of basic motor skills. He pulls out bread, turkey, lettuce, tomatoes that look suspiciously organic, and some fancy mustard in a bottle so aesthetic it could have an Instagram account. I watch stunned as he assembles a sandwich with the precision of a man who probably signs billion-dollar contracts before breakfast. He sets it in front of me. I stare at it. Eat, he says. Are you gonna watch me? Yes. This is weird. Eat anyway. I take a bite. It's really good. He finally sits. For a moment, we're quiet. The sunlight glows across the table, catching dust motes that drift like lazy sparks. Then he clears his throat. Brielle, I need to ask you something. My stomach flips. Is it scary? Yes. Oh, great. He leans forward, elbows on his knees. When Hale saw you, when he pointed at you, you didn't flinch. Should I have? You stepped toward him. Well, someone had to shut down his meltdown. Cassian shakes his head almost in disbelief. You confronted a man trying to run from my organization. Yeah, well, he was being dramatic. His eyes soften, sharp edges blurring. You weren't afraid. I was terrified, I admit quietly. I just moved anyway. He studies my face like that's the most interesting sentence he's ever heard. That's why you can't go home, he says softly. I stiffen. I don't live here, Cassian. You do now. No. You protected me and I'm grateful, but I'm not just going to... You think this is about gratitude? He interrupts. You think I'm asking because it's convenient? I think you're used to getting what you want, I say. He leans in, voice low and intense. Not with you. Something cracks inside me. Something small, frightened, hopeful. I look away. The sun catches my eyes, forcing me to blink. I don't want to be your weakness, Cassian. You're not. His tone shifts, still soft, but deadly serious. You're the first thing in my life that feels like a choice instead of an obligation. Oh no, my heart can't handle that sentence in broad daylight. Before I can respond, the front door bursts open and one of his men rushes in. Sir, we have a problem. Cassian stands instantly, shoulders tightening. What happened? One of Hale's associates slipped surveillance. He left the area before we arrived. Where is he now? Phoenix. Heading toward the farm. My farm. My blood goes cold. Cassian turns to me. His voice is the calm before an explosion. Did you leave anything there? Anything they could use? I think I search my memory, and then my old phone, I breathe. In the barn. I dropped it a few days ago and forgot about it. Cassian's jaw locks. Then they know where to find you. Fear spikes through me. Sharp, instant, primal. Cassian moves before I can panic. Get the team ready, he orders. We leave now. I stand as he reaches me. Hands on my shoulders, grounding me again. You're safe, he says. You're with me. His thumb brushes my jaw. I swallow. Can we make it in time? Yes. How do you know? He steps closer, forehead nearly touching mine. Because I don't lose the people I care about. I inhale sharply, and then he kisses me. Not rushed, not desperate, just slow, steady certainty, sun-warm and fierce. His hand cups the back of my neck. My fingers clutch his shirt. When he pulls back, his voice is raw. Stay close to me. Do exactly what I say. I nod, dazed. Okay. He turns toward the door. Let's end this. Sunlight pours into the entryway as he leads me out, toward the vehicles, the danger, the confrontation waiting under a blazing Arizona sky. And as I follow him, heart pounding, adrenaline spiking, one thing becomes crystal clear. I'm not the girl who got pushed around by a chicken anymore. I'm the girl the Mafia Don will burn the world to protect. And I'm done running. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Tell me your favorite moment, your favorite line, or which character you want to see again. I absolutely love reading your thoughts. And if you want more sunlit, cinematic Mafia romances just like this one, make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new chapter. Thanks for listening. You're the best.